What's up, my friends? Action Figure Junkie back with you with another couple of custom action figures made from Marauder Task Force parts and accessories. And oh yeah, some sweet Hasbro thrown in for good measure. So who's this interesting looking little group of happy characters? Well, if you know your G.I. Joe history, this group might look fairly familiar to you. At least I hope so. This is a custom, modern, updated version of the Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow origin story from the original run of the G.I. Joe Real American Hero comic books by Hasbro in the 80s. This is the long-range recon patrol of Tommy Arashikage, Lonzo Wilkinson, otherwise known as Stalker, and unknown Snake Eyes. If you are fans of the comic or know them well, G.I. Joe Real American Hero issue number 26 and 27 is where we learn all kinds of amazing things. How they met in Vietnam, how Snake Eyes was injured and lost his ability to speak and why his face was scarred. To your real classic G.I. Joe fans, this will always be the true origin of Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. The movies try, they're whatever, but this for the OG fans is it right here. So, this was a commission essentially by my best client, Nick. What's up, Nick, if you're watching? He wanted to get the long-range recon patrol set up, and I was more than pleased to do it. More than pleased. It was actually one of the most exciting commissions I've had in a long time, because those two books behind you are mine, and they are in some pretty good condition, and they are kind of like gems of my collection. I don't have a lot of comic... Here, let me move that. There we go. It's not glaring. I don't have a lot of comic books anymore. I used to have a much larger collection. But these two are very important to me because Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow have been, well, pretty much two of my favorite characters in all of pop culture, comics, cartoons, whatnot, action figure for 40 years. So if you've read those books, then you know this is where you learn that they all met in Vietnam. And Wade Collins is actually there as he comes around right now, the blonde. I took that head from one of the Crimson Guard, the 25th anniversary Crimson Guard, because he becomes part of the Fred series. But he was with them in Vietnam, thought to be left for dead, but turns out he wasn't dead, and he kind of held a grudge against his partners or his peeps for not getting him back to the States. And that is one of the reasons why he's joined Cobra and became Crimson Guard. And I had to include him because he's kind of, he's a big part of that group. But what you really got here is Stalker as he comes around right now. I wanted to put these guys on the spinning thing. Hopefully you can still get a good look at him. That is my custom modern version of Stalker as he looked in the comic books back then. Of course the story took place in Vietnam, and as time has gone on, when the stories were written in 1984, Vietnam was not that distant in the past. It is now in 2021. Your average Vietnam vet is my dad's age, in their late 60s or 70s. So we kind of had to update it and get it more modern and current. I did that by going with the current Marauder Task Force parts and accessories that I had available to me. Sorry, I'm trying to mess with the music so it's not too loud and not too quiet. I'm so unprofessional. I'll just try to talk louder. Ha! I know that MTF is putting out a Vietnam era line of soldiers or figures to customize pretty soon. And I've already discussed with Nick that we should do another series in the Vietnam. So you can have this kind of a modern one and then that juxtaposed to the actual Vietnam era. Hopefully those look as good as these. I don't know. I think these look good, you guys. I use for Stalker, I used the head from the movie version of, oh my God, Ripcord. Why that guy was Ripcord, I'll never know, but okay. And tried to make it look as close to the comic book that you see behind you, issue number 26, as possible, with a modern feel. Used the head from the movie Storm Shadow, gave him the wraps around his forearms. You're just gonna have to take my word for it, because I don't really want to touch these guys right now, because I think they will all fall if I so much as breathe wrong. But the added extra touch to that Storm Shadow is that he has the Arashikage tattoo under the wraps, and the wraps are removable. Can you see? Can you get in? Do you see that glimmer of red? Do you see that little touch of red? It's hard to see, but just trust me, it's there, and Nick's gonna appreciate it. Put the wraps on his arms. They're little. It looks like they're coming off. They're easily to remove, so that he can take them off if he wants. Then we got Fred, or Wade, just looking very basic military. You know, that's kind of what his as he was drawn there. You know, it's just basic military from Vietnam era. There's not a lot of flash. These guys don't necessarily look like your standard Joes, because that's not how they were originally designed to be. Snake Eyes has the low slung hat, so you can barely see his face. That was always how he was drawn. Then his big old gun, plenty of bullets, and that's pretty much what it is. I decided to go with like brown and green. Storm Shadow in those books had a bit of a different look. He had a t-shirt, a bow and arrow. I'm kind of, should I touch him? I don't want to touch him. I decided to use a rifle quiver and stuff it full of arrows, and then strap a G.I. Joe 25th anniversary ninja bow and arrow, or a bow, sorry, excuse me, to the back. And if you can see it through there, there's the bow, because he actually uses that in the comic book. And just kind of gave him some cool different camo pants, but because he had a bit of a different look. I mean, he's Storm Shadow. He's not afraid to stand out and look a bit different. Cool flashlight on the chest, some grenades, nice weapon. I'm really pleased with how these came out, and I'm also very excited to do the Vietnam era. But this is the Long Range Recon Patrol, kind of a current modern day updated version from G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, issue number 26 and 27 run. That's where we get the real story that has always been near and dear and true to my heart, of how Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow met, how they trained to become ninjas, how Snake Eyes was brought into Storm Shadow's dojo to train, and eventually he was going to take over until the Hard Master was killed. Great covers, fantastic covers of these books. My God, this I've had on my wall for years. This one, just issue number 26. My God, there's my little new Pac-Man stress ball behind there. These comics were hugely influential to my life and have always been the true story of the Arashikage clan to me. The movies can try, but they'll never really compete. Basically, 2 comic books did it better than what any of those movies will ever be able to do. So that's just how I feel. Let me know how you feel. So thanks so much for watching. This video is a bit longer than normal, but I had to do 4 figures. Oh, check it out. Because Stalker always had a radio backpack in those comics. I think this was a Lieutenant Falcon, extra Lieutenant Falcon backpack, which was always such a cool backpack. I can't wait for the Vietnam era figures to come out, because I'm really excited to try to make another Lieutenant Falcon and Footloose. Stay tuned for those. Those will be in the future, I guess. Those kind of real militaristic Joes that we all remembered and loved. Well, oh man, I can't wait to make some updated modern versions of those. So pleased with how these came out. Can't wait to ship them off to Nick. It is, as I record this, New Year's Eve morning. So if you're watching this, happy 2022. Good luck, good fortune, good health, most of all. You know what I'm talking about. Hopefully we can all make it through this. Be good to each other. Love each other. Stay safe. Thanks for watching. Oh, I didn't put up my things because it was too hard to fit all 4 of these figures and this. But you know how we do it.